following on from the League Two playoff final, we now know the 24 clubs that will play in the League Two 2024-2025 season. How will they get on? Will they go up? Will they go down? In this video, I'm going to give you my gut reactions, and they're coming at you next. Another prediction video today. We're taking a look at League Two, my insanely early door 2024-2025 predictions. That's right, where they're going to finish, high, low, we'll go everywhere and in between. We're going to get into it in just 1 second. If you knew where you've been, smash your subscribe, and your one-stop shop for League Two is right here under one roofski. Of course, we've got the new boys Bromley in the mix. We've got some returning favourites, Port Vale and Co, to make it a spicy League Two campaign. Where's your club going to finish? Get your thoughts and opinions down below. In fact, get your 24 in the comments, and we'll see how close you get it right and how close I get it right at the end of the season. Of course, we'll be back later on for some more updates, but today, right here, right now, this is my gut take on the 2024-2025 season. We're going to start from the middle of the pack, 13, work our way down, and then, of course, it's all the way to the top. So let's get into it. Into 13th spot we go now, and it is Salford City. That's right, managed by Carl Robinson, who, has got a good pedigree at this level and beyond this level. Of course, did wonders for Oxford United, getting ever so close to the promised land with Oxford. But last season, the season to forget for Salford City, finishing in 20th. Can they do better this time around? I don't think so. Still mid-table at best. 13th spot for Salford City. Into 14th spot we go now, over in League Two, and it is Cheltenham Town, managed by Darryl Clark, of course relegated last season in League One. Can they bounce back at the first time I'm asking? I don't think so. It's going to be a tough old order for these relegated sides from last season. I don't think Cheltenham are going to compete with the big boys. I hope to be proven wrong, but for me, they're going to be mid-table. Where are they? 14th. 15th spot we go now in League Two, and it is Barrow. That's right, Pete Wild's boys did a fantastic job last season, flirted with automatics, flirted with the plans, but ultimately fell out of it. And I fear that they may have missed the opportunity, the golden window, to get into League One, and I think they might struggle this campaign coming around. Of course, Barrow ain't no slouches, and of course, if they can navigate this season and finish towards the top end and maybe even float with the Persons again, then maybe they've got the cojones to remain an EFL League team for the long haul. But for me, a season of struggle. It's a 16th spot now, over in League Two, and it is Harrogate Town. That's right, mid-table obscurity last time around. Simon Weaver's boys really got to dig deep if they're going to try and make that push from mid-table obscurity to, of course, playoffs. I don't see it, to be honest with you. There's still a little bit of a minnow when compared to some of these bigger boys, so I think they're going to struggle this time around, and of course they might even attempt or tease with, or flirt even, for relegation. Go now, over in League Two, and it is the Saddlers. Is that right? Is that Saddlers? It's Walsall, of course, managed by Matt Sadler, over at the Prescott. Finished 11th last season. This division, again, very difficult. Walsall realistically should be competing for those playoffs, and they were flirting with them last season, but ultimately didn't enough quality to break into that Power 7. Are they going to miss out once again? I think so. Into 18th spot we go now in League Two, and it is Notts County. That's right. Can they come? They were, of course, flirting with the playoffs this time around, but of course fell short along the season, losing the manager over to Swansea. But can they compete this time around? Of course, monumentally important is keeping the goals in Langstaff. The division's top goal scorer is monumental if they are going to compete for mid-table or even beyond that. But I think they're going to struggle. 18th for me for Notts County in League Two. 19th spot we go now. It is Accrington Stanley. That's right. Relegated a couple of seasons back now. A real bad season last season. They lost the main man. Coleman is no more. And I don't believe in the new guy. The new guy at the helm. Doolan, I think his name is. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Stanley, with one of the lower budgets in this division, are going to struggle and will be lucky to still be in the EFL at the end of the season. Into 20th spot now we've got is Bromley, of course, now managed by Andy Woodman. Got themselves promoted from the National League. What a marathon it's been for them, of course. And they're going to be here for the first time in the EFL. Can they stick around? I think they will have enough quality to stick around in the division. 20th is probably a good entry level to get to familiarise yourselves with the division and, of course, the EFL. And, of course, build on those blocks next season. And then, of course, the sky's the limit for Bromley. To 21st spot we go now over in League Two, and it is Swindon Town. Currently, as of recording, it is managerless Swindon Town. I believe Derek Adams is probably the man that's going to get the job, but I don't know. I'm not an expert in Swindon Town, but I will keep an eye on it as, of course, the summer progresses. Of course, if Derek Adams does come in, then maybe we can reevaluate this, because he has got a track record for getting teams promoted, or at least competing for the top of the table. But as of right now, coming at you here, hot off the press, at the end of May, 21st spot for Swindon Town. Into 22nd spot we go now in League Two, and it is Morecambe, that's right, of course. Not too long ago they were playing their football in League One, but last season they were absolutely dreadful, and I think it's going to be another season of a struggle once again. They've got a small budget, small attendance, not much going for them, and I think they're going to struggle, and they may even get relegated. Into 21st spot we go now, and it is Grimsby Town. They're going down. Of course, former crewman David Atwell's still the man at their helm. Of course, I didn't really see much from them to showcase that they'll compete for anything more than a relegation fight next time around. I like Grimsby. They're a traditional club in my eyes, and I'd love to see them back up in at least League One, but I don't see that happening anytime soon. Another season of woe for Grimsby. But are there two teams worse than them? I'm struggling to think so heading into this off-season. For me, 23rd Grimsby. They could be going back down to non-league. Into 24th spot we go now over in League Two, and it is Newport County. They're gonna go down, back down to the conference. Graham Coughlin, the manager, really didn't end the season strongly with Newport County, and I think the Welsh outfit are going to get it found out this time around. It's a difficult division this year over in League Two, and I think Newport County are going to struggle. It's 12th spot we go now over in League Two with Fleetwood Town. Charlie Adam, of course, was at the helm as these boys went down from League One. Can they bounce back in the first attempt? I don't think so. I think this is going to be a season of transition. Of course, first full season for Charlie Adam at the helm at Fleetwood Town. And to be honest with you, it's going to be quite a competitive division with a lot of those boys that were in and amongst the playoffs last time around. And of course, the big boys coming down from League One going to cause problems as well. So Fleetwood Town in a bit of a transitional season for me, mid-table, and they're 12th. To 11th spot we go now in League Two, and it is Carlisle United under Paul Simpson. Is he the man to get Carlisle promoted at the first time of asking? For me, the answer is no. Of course, they're going to have a season of struggle next campaign. They're going to be competing. I don't think they're going to have enough quality. None the same. They shouldn't fear relegation. They'll be in and amongst the middle pack, but to me, they're staying in League Two for another season. It's a 10th spot we go now over in League Two, and it is, of course, Wimbledon, the Dons, the crazy gang, managed by Johnny Jackson. Can he get them over the line this time around? I just don't think so. The quality in League Two is going to be quite difficult, and I think Wimbledon could be on the receiving end of a bit of a football lesson from some of the teams that are coming down from the Championship, from League One. I think the Dons got a lot of work to do, and I think they're just going to miss out once again by finishing in 10th. Into 9th spot we got now over in League Two, and it's Crewe, that's right. Forever the bridesmaid, never the bride, of course. Playoff finalist, loser, but of course have to come back around this time around. Crewe, of course, finishing last season within those playoffs. It's going to be a difficult struggle for them this season, with a lot of competition for those for the top three automatics, and of course the remaining four in the top seven, basically for the playoffs. I think Crewe are going to unfortunately be on the receiving end in a bit of a backwards season, and may even cost a man his job. We'll take a little look, of course, and see where Crewe end up at the end of the campaign. Into 8th spot we go now over in League Two, and it's Colchester United. They did have a real terrible season last season, but they stuck around and they've got the right man to drive them forward this time around. I think it's going to be more of a season of progression, not really of success. They'll just miss out, in my eyes, on those playoff spots. But finishing 8th, considering where they were last time around, is a major step forward. And who knows, within the next couple of years, they might be back in League One. To 7th spot we go now over in League Two, and it is the Gills, of course. Gillingham now managed by Mark Bonner, of course confirmed as manager for Gillingham next season. He's got a bit of experience, but of course not any major success. I think he did, correct me if I'm wrong, get Cambridge promoted with his last appointment, but of course he then was made surplus to requirements over there. Can the Gills get it right this time around this season? For me, they just miss out. Into 6th spot we go now over in League Two, and it is Chesterfield United with Paul Cook at the helm, currently bounced into the division via the National League as champions. They were phenomenal. They were there by a distance, and I think they're going to go ride that momentum train this time around into the playoffs. 6th place for me for Chesterfield. Do you believe me? Let me know your thoughts down below. To 5th spot we go now over at League Two, and it is Doncaster Rovers. Grant McCann did a fantastic job last season, but did he leave it a little bit too late to hit into top gear to get Doncaster into the playoffs? I think they'll have a bit more success this time around, and maybe they'll flirt with those top 3 spots, but ultimately end up back where they finished this season in the playoffs. 5th spot for me for Doncaster, but keep the faith with Grant McCann. Spot we go now, and it is Bradford City, that's right, managed by Graham Alexander. Been there, seen it, got the t-shirt. He's got to get it right this time around for the Bantams. They go into the playoffs. 4th spot for me. We'll see at the end of the season. Now over in League Two, and it is Tranmere Rovers. Of course, Tranmere Rovers didn't necessarily compete. Well, they didn't compete last season, did they? But they've now got a man pulling the strings in Nigel Atkins, with a full off season up ahead to get these boys working in the right direction. I think they're going to challenge for automatics once again and be in those top 3 spots at the end of the season. So for me, keep an eye on Tranmere Rovers. They're competing for automatics, and I'll be there at the end of the season. To the 2nd spot we go now over in League Two, and it's Darren Moore's boys. That's right, Port Vale. Can they get back to the 3rd tier of English football? The first time I'm asking, I believe so. I think Port Vale have a major coup on their hands, and that's Darren Moore. But will he still be there at the start of the season? Will he be lured by the managerial merry-go-round? He could be. It could be taken up for grabs once and for all. But I think if he sticks with Vale, they'll be right back in the thick of things and promoted automatically at the first time I'm asking. Into top spot we go now over in League Two, and it is MK Dons. They flattered to deceive in the playoffs, but this time they'll get it right. They'll get it all right, and they'll come up automatically via the top 3 spots even. Of course, keep an eye on MK Dons this time to get it right over in League Two. They'll be back to the promised land, and that's League One next time. Well, there you have it, folks. There you bloody have it. That's, of course, my 24 for the League Two campaign next season coming up. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Of course, let me know your thoughts and opinions down below, as well as seeing your 24, how you see it going next season. Will the likes of Bromley survive? What about Chesterfield, of course, returning to league football for the first time in a while, and some heavy hitters in there as well. Port Vale, can they get back at the first attempt? Doncaster missed down the playoffs. Lots of questions and stories we're all going to explore next season. Be sure to subscribe, smash the like. Of course, we'll be back on a month-by-month basis, providing you updated predictions with, of course, responses to transfers as well as, of course, managerial changes. But that's my initial gut take. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. We'll see you soon for more EFL League Two action as and when we get it.